I wanted to talk to you today about why you are so mad at yourself. Have you ever thought, why didn't I say something? I'm so mad at myself, I should have said this. This might keep you up at night. Or you think, why did I let that happen to me? I should have done something else. I should have got out of that. And you think about all these times where you were hurt and you should have done something about it. And we think back to our old selves and we judge our old selves of who we are now because we have greater perspective now. And we think, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? And you're mad at yourself. And the truth is, you felt like you abandoned yourself. You abandoned who you are. A lot of times we can think back when we were children or when we were younger and we think, why am I not like that anymore? I used to be able to speak my mind and defend myself. I used to be happy and kind, and I used to be able to be free loving, and why can't I do that anymore? If you think, this is a perfect example. When we go through trauma, we create protectors in our personality. When children are shamed or embarrassed, they'll come up with defense mechanisms so that they will never feel that pain or that shame ever again. So sometimes we come up with different defense mechanisms. It might be, if I'm made fun of, I don't want to feel that ever again. So I am going to be the first one in the room to make fun of someone else. Or I'm going to be the first one in the room to make fun of me so no one else can be the first ones to say it. Or I am going to be mean and angry because that's the only way I get anything that I want. We come up with these defense mechanisms because of some time someone hurt us. And these protectors, I can't forget to talk about this. We develop a critic inside of us. We have a very strong voice in our head that's critical of you. It says, don't do that. Remember last time you did that? You got really embarrassed and you got really ashamed. We got really shamed. So never let that happen again. And so we can be really critical. Wait, you have to be perfect. If you're not perfect, you're not going to be lovable. And so you stress yourself out because you have this really strong voice in your head that's a critic. But when we think of this critic as something that is trying to protect us from being hurt, that critic can be understood. And we can go back and we can talk to our critic and say, I'm not that person anymore. I am in a new place in my life. And I will take care of myself now. And I do not need you to be critical of me. I understand myself better now. And I understand who I am. And I can protect myself the way that a caretaker or a teacher didn't protect me when I was younger. And we can silence that critic by trying to understand it. A lot of times in therapy, they will try to tell you to change your thoughts. Just think positive, just think of something else, or, write in your journal positivity, be grateful, because just try to silence that voice. But until you try to understand it and let that part of you know that you're in a better place now and you don't need it to be so critical of you, and once your critical part feels understood, feels accepted, because all parts of you are welcome. They all need to be understood. They all need to be have compassion towards them. Then we are able to understand ourselves and why we didn't do that, why we didn't stand up for ourselves, and we're able to come into a more peace with ourselves. So the reason why you're mad at yourself is because you feel abandoned by yourself. And the only way to bring yourself back to who you are is by listening to yourself. A lot of times growing up, you were never listened to. Your emotions were never validated. But you now can do that for yourself. Can validate your feelings, can validate your thoughts, accept them, understand them, welcome them, and let them know you're in a new place. You're in a safe place now, that you can take care of those parts of you that weren't taken care of before, and start to understand yourself better so you do not have to be mad at yourself, because the reason why those parts are there is they're trying to protect you. And once you understand that, you understand that all your parts can work together to allow yourself to grow and change and know that you don't need that critic anymore in your life.